Hello Running Fit fam! This video I want to talk about plyometrics because there is a lot of confusion about whether long distance or marathon runners need them. I'll give you the short answer right away. Yes, you do. Also, another question is, when do I do these? That's what I did today, is I did them before my workout, before my run on the treadmill. Now, plyometrics don't have to be an entire workout by themselves. Excuse my thumb, that just keeps popping in the video. As a long distance runner, yes, you can do plyometrics at the beginning of your workout. I want you to think of them as a warm-up because plyometrics are meant to be explosive and powerful, and honestly, you can use them to your advantage by priming your muscles for the hard work of your workout to come. You can treat your plyometrics like a warm-up, meaning it's fast, it's furious, you're not doing a whole ton of reps. What I'm going to show you today are 3 plyometrics that you'll begin to see how they progress one into each other. I start with some pogos, and I'm gonna show you my trick of how I'm finally getting pogo jumps to click. They're very difficult for me. My brain and my body have a hard time figuring out the movement. So I'm gonna show you a little trick that I discovered, and hopefully it'll work for you too. And then I'll show you a second plyometric that you can do anywhere. It's more about power and explosiveness. And finally, I'll show you my version of a hurdle hop, and I had no hurdles in the gym, so I will show you what you can use instead. Let it be easy and dare to train differently. First exercise are double leg pogo jumps. I want you to remember to keep your toes up while you're jumping and your knees slightly bent. Now here, I'm not doing too bad, but you can see how my center of mass keeps shifting, and I keep falling backwards and falling forward. So I decided to just give my body a little bit of movement prep and just jump. Notice my toes are pointing down. You do not do this when you're pogo jumping. I am just jumping and getting the stimuli into my body, and I found that by just jumping and getting my body ready, this pogo motion right here naturally happened. I'm very happy, thumbs up. So that can be a trick that you can use if your brain is just not connecting with how to do a pogo jump and your knees are getting really stiff, like even mine begin to get a little hyperextended again. Go back to that little movement prep of jumping and let it flow into your double leg pogo jump. Next up is squat jumps. Now this is what people normally think of. That is not what I want you to do. I want you to think of explosive, powerful movement like that, where you're exploding off the ground and you are actually using your arms to help propel you upwards. That is the plyometric that I'm looking for. You are jumping out of your squat. The reason for this, we are continuing to build tendon stiffness, like building strong tendon tissue in your Achilles and in your knees. Last exercise are hurdle hops. I did not have hurdles in my gym, so I grabbed some sandbags. They are roughly a foot tall, and if I step on them, I won't break my ankle. So keep that in mind when you are picking something. I don't have a magical spacing to give you of how far to space these out. It really depends on your personal height. I left enough space in between the bags though, so that I had space to reset before I jumped again. I'll actually show you as I'm jumping how I kind of take a pause. What I'm showing you here is I want you to think about using that squat jump that you just used, and now you are implementing it by jumping over an obstacle. What matters here is that you land softly on the balls of your feet. I want you to think like you're landing like a cat. I want you to be stealthy and quiet. You're back, Running Fit Fam. So, as you saw towards the end of my exercise demonstration, the wind was being unkind. It kept knocking my camera over. But what I wanted to show you was how much gap I really had between those sandbags. Ideally, when you would do a hurdle hop, you want to go boom, 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 boom. You want to flow right into the next jump. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough hurdles or objects to do that, and also I realized I had the wrong shoes. So here's a quick tip if you're going to be doing some extensive plyometric training, or really if you're going to do a circuit like that where it was 3 exercises and they're a pretty good amount of reps. I found that doing them in my running shoes was actually painful. Now, this could be because I have custom made orthotics, or orthoses, the correct word. But what they do is they change how my foot is able to land and absorb load. When you absorb load, pretend these are my fingers, this is the ball of my foot. You actually want the ball of your foot to expand and accept that load of your body coming back to earth. Like gravity is slamming you viciously back to earth, and you need your foot, your foundation, to broaden and widen and accept that impact. With my running shoes, which are actually, these are pretty good running shoes because the toe bed is wider, but with the shoe and the orthotic combined, it really restricted my foot. So I would have been better off doing these barefoot, or just in a shoe that's not as restrictive or has orthotics in it. So in case you're having a little bit of foot pain or just foot tightness, foot cramping was happening, that is a potential solution. Thank you so much for watching, Running Fit Fam. I would love if you subscribe so we can hang out more often. And if you found any of these tips helpful, any of these exercises helpful, let me know in the comments below. Or if you have questions, or even better, if you have suggestions of what you want to see or any questions you have, don't be afraid to drop them in the comments. I'm a physical therapist. I practice, and trust me, you are not the only one with that question. So until next time, Running Fit Fam, dare to train differently.